Hi, today we are here for ISF subject DBMS. Our course instructor are Professor Snehal Patil and our group member are myself, Ritik Jadhav, Rushikesh Patil and Akash Shah. Our topic name is transition. The transaction can be defined as group of tasks. A single task is the minimum processing unit which cannot be divided further. It is an action or a series of actions that are being performed by single user or application program, which reads and updates the information. Transaction access data using read and write operations. The transaction concept is key to the structuring of the data management application. There are properties that all transactions should follow and possess. The four basic are in combination termed as ACID properties. ACID properties. First, atomicity. This property states that a transaction must be treated as an atomic unit, that is, either all of its operations are executed or none. There must be no state in a database where a transaction is left partially completed. For example, if funds are transferred from one account to another account, this only counts as bona fide transaction if both the withdrawal and deposit take place. If one account is debited and another is not credited, it not qualify as a transaction. Second, consistency. The database must remain in a consistent state after any transaction. No transaction should have adverse effect on the data residing in the database. If the database was in a consistent state before the execution of transaction, it must remain consistent after the execution of the transaction as well. Third, isolation. The property of isolation says that all the transaction will be carried out and executed as it if it is the only transaction in the system. No transaction will affect the existence of any other transaction. For example, when a fund transfer is made between two accounts, debiting of one and crediting of another must appear to take place simultaneously. The funds cannot be credited to an account before they are debited from another. Durability. The database should be durable enough to hold all its list update even if the system fails or restarts. For example, if a transaction updates a chunk of data in a database and commits, then the database will hold the modified data. If the transaction commits but the system fails before the data could be written on the disk, then that data will be updated once system springs back into action. Now Rishikesh will explain further.
Thank you, Ritik. So this is an transaction state. So it is there an diagram of transaction state that active goes to the partial committed, and if there is partial committed, then it goes to committed, and there is something that not does not uh, properly said that it is filled and it is aborted. So this is a transaction state. Next slide. So what is a transaction and what is that type? So here, active. In this state, the transaction is being executed. This is the initial state of every transaction. Partially committed. When a transaction executes its final operation, it is said to be in partially committed state. After that failed, a transaction is said to be failed state if any of the checks made by database recovery system fails. A failed transaction can no longer proceed further. Aborted. If any of the checks fail and transaction has reached a failed state, then the recovery manager rolls back all its write operations on the database to bring database back to its original state where it was prior to the execution of the transaction. Transaction in state are called aborted. The database recovery module can select one of the two operations after transaction aborts. Restart the transaction, kill the transaction. After that, committed. If the transaction executes all its operations successfully, it is said to be committed. All its effects are now permanently established on the database system. Next slide. So advantages and disadvantages of transaction. So what are advantages? First is batch or real-time processing available. Second, reduction in processing time, lead time, and order cycle time. Third is reduction in inventory, personnel, and ordering costs. Fourth one, increasing in productivity and customer satisfaction. The disadvantages are high setup costs, lack of standard formats, hardware and software incompatibility. So here is one question, that is, consider the following log sequence of two transaction on bank account with initial balance 12,000 that transfer 2,000 to mortgage payment and then apply 5% interest. So here T1 start, T1B old is equal to 12,000, new is equal to 10,000. T1M old is equal to 0, new is equal to 2,000. T1 commit, T1 T2 starts, T2B old 10,000, new 10,500, T2 committed. Suppose the database system crashes just before log record 7 is written. When a system is restarted, which one of the system is true, statement is true of the recovery procedure? First one, we must redo log record 6 to set B to 10,500. We must undo logs record 6 to set to B to 10,000 and then redo log records 2 and 3. We need not redo log records 2, 3 because transaction T1 has committed. We can apply redo and undo operations in arbitrary order because they are idempotent. The system is restarted. Which one statement is true recovery procedure? Of this question, answer has been given by Akash Saha.
Hello, my name is Akash Kumar Shah. Now I'm telling the answer. We must updo lock record 6 to the set B to 10,000 and redo lock records 2 and 3 because system fails before commit operations. So we need to up down active transaction T2 and redo committed to transaction. This is the recovery. When a system with concurrent transaction crashes and recovers, it behaves the following manners. The recovery system reads the log backwards from the end of the last checkpoint. It maintains to list and up to list and redo list. If the recovery system sees a log with or just it puts the transaction in the redo list. If the recovery system sees a log but with no comment or about the log found, it puts the transaction into list. All the transaction in the up to list and then up done and their logs are removed. All the transaction in the redo list and the previous logs are removed. Then the return before saving their logs. So answer is B. Redo logs records 2 and 3 and up to log record 6. So next slide. Next slide. This is the answer question 2. Explain serialization in transaction. The answer is when the multiple transactions are being executed by the operating system in a multi-programming environment, there are possibilities that instruction of the one transaction is interleaved with some other transaction. This is a schedule. A chronicle execution sequence of a transaction is called a schedule. A schedule can have many transactions in it. It's a compression of a number of the instruction and traces. Then serial schedule. It is a schedule in which transactions are aligned in which a way of one transaction is executed first. When the first transaction completes its circles, then the next transaction is executed. Transactions are ordered one after the other. This type of schedule is called a serial schedule, as the transactions are executed in a serial manner. So next slide. This is a conclusion. Each transaction prevents data consequency. The primary benefits of using transaction is data integrity. Many database users require strong data to multiple tables or multiple rows to the same table in order to maintain a consistent data set. Using transactions ensures that the connections to the database see the either the updates of or none of them. So one of the key of features of transaction is reliability. Using the transaction can ensure that you can process customer transaction quickly and accuracy. A reliable transaction can help your organization save money or potential troubleshooting or coding cost for manufacturing systems. So thank you, ma'am.
Here we end our presentation.